What is up, everybody? It's your boy First here today, and we have to talk about the Sony fanboys, and the Sony fan base bragging about Forspoken being on the top selling games, top 20 games of the NPD list. Bragging about that game being on NPD list while Hi-Fi Rush was not on the list. I don't know what a bizarre timeline are we living in where Sony fanboys are championing Forspoken. Like, once again, let's look at the Metacritic for this game. This game is a 65 on Metacritic from the critic reviews. And you can say, hey, this game is a little bit above average. Even if it's not like a hit amongst the critics, it must be a hit amongst the users, right? But you look at the user score, it's even lower than what the critics gave it at a 3.4. Now, I know we have some people say that, hey, this game is not doing too well because there's a lot of people who are racist, a lot of people who are misogynists, a lot of people who just hate PlayStation in general. But I don't think that's the case. Like the average person like me who looked at the game looks average. It looks average to me. I haven't played the game, so I can't really say you got me on there. I haven't played the game, so I can't really say the game is good or not. But I played the demo, and when I played from the demo, I didn't really like it too much. So it looked like a game I'll probably get the half price, like $30, 30 to $40. I might pick it up. But other than that, it's like I'm not seeing like the big wow factor with this game. But this is really the king. This is PlayStation's king right now. The way these Sony guys are just defending this game because it's hit the top spot on NPD list. Like really, really Forspoken. It was like you gotta be down bad tremendously if you are just like puffing up, putting Forspoken on the pedestal. Like this is just embarrassing. But the Sony fan base are out in full force, bragging about this game being in the top of NPD list. So this is the first one who says January NPD is out. What was that game these stands were saying? Also Forspoken again? I don't see it. Now this list is in January, so this is all the January games that came out, or January data in general. For Hi-Fi Rush dropped January 25th. So, and I think the thing ends on the 28th. So it had 3 days to actually chart. And then some people, it's like people are just arguing back and forth if they're counting actual digital sales or not. So it says digital sales are not included, but it was like certain games. So I don't know. I don't really care about the NPD list in general, but it's just really annoying when these guys use this list just to push. And it's just weird when the times they use these NPD lists to say, hey, we got a W over Xbox. When it's like, when is Forspoken the king? When is that like the most valued PlayStation game right now? At one point, before we even heard about this NPD list, they were claiming that Forspoken is a Square Enix game. The reason why this game is doing meet badly on Metacritic because it's a Square Enix game, not a PlayStation game. So they were trying to they were trying to distance themselves from this game in general. The Sony guys were. But now that it's doing well on NPD lists, now we welcome them back in. This is the king of PlayStation right now, for whatever reason. It's like, what? It's like, I think Sony fans just have identity crisis right now because their leadership is really bugged out over Call of Duty games potentially being on Xbox, which isn't a first party game, but they're super concerned over a third party game. And now they're championing this other third party game from Square Enix that isn't a Sony game to begin with. They're championing this as it is a PlayStation game. Like, really? It's just Sony has their fan base this down bad where they're championing third party games as a first party game now. That's like, really. At least if you're gonna do all this champion, at least let it be a first party game. But they don't have first party content until like Spider-Man, or you have the VR niche VR stuff, but they ain't really got no first party content until Spider-Man drops. So I guess this is what happens to a fan base when they're just deprived of first party content, I guess. Which this fan base brags about so much. Then we have a journalist. This guy was supposed to be a neutral, unbiased source right here, but even he's partaking in fanboy wars nonsense. Strange how Hi-Fi Rush didn't chart on NPD top 20. I was told it was going to outsell Forspoken on Steam, something, something. Now, because of this different narrative, that was like this weird battle between Forspoken and Hi-Fi Rush. Like, why does this battle even it's such a bizarre thing? We got this AAA game from Square Enix is now being pit against a double A game from Tango Gameworks, which dropped out of nowhere. It's just really bizarre at this point. Like, this is a weird timeline we're in with Sony fanboys just champion Forspoken. Well, Trash Forspoken outsold Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi didn't even chart. Talk about dead on okay, that's just laughable. When I was dead on arrival. Like I'm pretty sure the game did extremely well on Steam. He had a lot of success from Game Pass. I don't know what are you talking about. And if I were to choose one or the other, I would definitely choose Hi-Fi Rush over Forspoken any day of the week. But you know, it's just getting weird out here. I was told Hi-Fi Rush also Forspoken. I was told Forspoken was a flop. I was told Hi-Fi Rush was a game of the year. I was told everyone thinks Forspoken is trash and Hi-Fi Rush killed it. Yet Forspoken is on NPD. Where's Hi-Fi Rush at? I don't know, but once again, they're championing a game which has such low scores. So it's like, I guess I don't know. It's just weird. I thought the Sony standard was like games was rated like in the 90 plus, but now they're champion for Spoken now. It's just okay. Digital sales are included from the Xbox on NPD, but Hi-Fi Rush fails to chart on best-selling games. Forspoken, however, does break into top 10. Then this guy states, "Are you shocked that Hi-Fi Rush didn't chart on NPD after all the Xbox and media stands called it Game of the Year?" I mean, I still think it's up there. Like so far, my Game of the Year is contender so far, but we're only in February. Is Hogwarts Legacy and Hi-Fi Rush so far? So I mean, it's pretty accurate. I still think it's Game of the Year. But yeah, I just like it's just mind boggling how we just how they're just champion how they're just champion for Spoken now. Like that's just the most amazing PlayStation game ever now. Uh, then once again, like I said before, I don't care about sales data. I don't know why people care so much about the sales data. I think they only use us to just get a W on on the competition they just don't like at this point. They're trying to squeeze a W out when it's like really who cares at the end of the day. Who really cares? It's like they were so butthurt that this third party PlayStation exclusive for $70 was flopping. It's like I guess this is their get back, I guess, or their comeback. And it's like this news, and also this news just doesn't make me want to certainly just buy Forspoken now because it's doing extremely well. I still think it's just mediocre. It doesn't change my opinion about the game. I still think it's looking mediocre. I would definitely take Hi-Fi Rush over Forspoken any day of the week. PlayStation fanatics are capping for a garbage game is the craziest flex. I'm saying the same thing. This is a crazy flex right here. They're literally bragging about this game that it's just it looks like it looks mediocre. Like okay. I was like, we are in a weird timeline now. They're not even bragging about first party PlayStation games anymore. They're bragging about third party games. Because Square Enix is literally carrying PlayStation on its back right now, which they don't have a problem with. As long as it's some type of W, they take it as a W. You know, PlayStation is being carried by Square Enix this entire year. Uh, do actual research like a man and stop saying things with no foundation at all, please. Xbox has no games. Those games don't count because Xbox bought them. My 6.8 Metacritic game is better than your 9.1 Metacritic game because it's so bored. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The game that's rated a lot less is better than the one that's highly rated. Sony fanboy logic is something else. And it was like it's this big debate if the digital game sales are even included or not. So it's like that's the other factor too. So it's just like they're grasping at straws at this point. It's like, is this where the mighty PlayStation fan base has fallen? Where grasping at straws with this Forspoken game? Like it's just like they're literally putting this on the level as like God of War or something. Like, what are we doing here? It's just sad and pathetic. Like they just get more pathetic. Like more sad and pathetic each and every time they try to get a W. Like who cares that Forspoken potentially we don't even know for sure that it did better than a Hi-Fi Rush. And then like if it did, it should because it had a whole month of marketing being pushed to market it out for Sony. While Hi-Fi Rush was a stealth drop after the direct showcase. So it's like how much does Sony pay you? Uh, But once again, Xbox has no games. And he says Microsoft is where talent goes to die. Meanwhile, you guys were so up in arms, just completely losing over Hi-Fi Rush coming out. But you know, Xbox has no games. Forspoken was on sale for almost a full month before Hi-Fi Rush. It had 2 years of hype, massive advertising campaigns, and yet your brain is a bottomless pit. It's just the fact that they're taking this as a W is just so weird. And this guy says it as well. You guys are just down bad. Like they obviously are the champion Forspoken. Like that's just it's just even weird to say that they're champion in this game. That just looks so mediocre. But I don't know. Have at it, bro. I'm done with this topic. Have at it. If you guys want to say Forspoken is amazing, then go out and buy it. Then I guess hopefully they make a sequel and it's gonna look better than just looking mediocre as it does right now. So there you go. But I'm gonna conclude it right here. Let me know your thoughts down below. Why do you think this is that these guys are championing this game being number 7 on NPD? Like less than a week ago, the game was trash, but now it's just the most amazing thing ever. It's just amazing. But let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you like this video. And all these things for watching, and peace.